If I walked into Morrison's, as I did yesterday, and there was someone with a loudhailer, don't buy lamb. Have we got the footage, actually? Should we play the footage? Does it work as audio? I can't remember. It doesn't. No, forget it. And someone is there going, don't eat lamb, and someone else is holding up a picture of a lamb. I'm told that in the United States of America, you're not allowed to film in slaughterhouses, which should give us all pause, right? Which should give us all... Why not? So, because the people who create the product don't want you to know what happens. To which I think the normal human response would be, why not? What are you worried about? Nothing to hide, you've got nothing to fear. Turns out they've got a lot to hide. But you don't want to be told. Ignorance is bliss. So why is it vegans that wind people up so much? Tasha is in Cambridge. Tasha, what would you like to say?
Hi there, James. It was really good to speak to you.
Likewise.
Really lovely to hear you talk about how your thoughts and beliefs about veganism have changed. And I think you sound very much like I did about 6 years ago when I was there with all the arguments. I completely was on side with veganism, but I just hadn't aligned my actions with my beliefs.
Well, sadly, I was there 6 years ago as well, Tasha, but here I still am, I'm afraid.
It takes some people a bit more time than others, but I'm sure you'll get there eventually, James.
Maybe.
So what I wanted to say basically is that I think the reason that a lot of people get angry with vegans when they're confronted with the truth is that we're brought up in a society, in an environment that is very much against what are kind of the vegan values. I mean, I think a lot of people fundamentally do have vegan values. Like, people do care about animals generally. They want them to be treated well. If you question that, you just need to look at any, comment thread where a dog or a cat has been harmed in some way. You see lots of people very, very angry about that. But unfortunately, we're brought up in a society which teaches us to kind of view different animals differently. And we're taught that we call them sort of the 3 or sometimes the 4 N's. So we're taught that it's normal to harm animals, or necessary to harm or eat animals, and that it's natural. And the 4th one is actually nice, because, animals taste nice, and I think fundamentally that's a really important thing.
So, something so delicious can't be wrong, in other words.
Exactly,
that kind of logic.
Unfortunately, And a lot of the time when people are confronted with this information and with, the harsh reality of, the impact of their choices on animals, it's natural for them to feel kind of either angry or sad, or some sort of bad feeling. And I think a lot of the time they'll take that out on the messenger, which is the vegan that's
exactly
giving that information, rather than the industries that are the people that are actually responsible for this harm.
Yeah, no. So I remember a therapist telling me that when you point a finger at someone, there are 3 fingers pointing back at you. So it's often got a lot to do with what's going on inside you that you articulate as apparent anger towards the person over there that you're angry with. Those are normal, necessary, natural, and nice. So you subscribe, I think, to the school of thought that you can't really be a vegan without being an activist, because what you want is the end of the practice.
Absolutely. I like to think of veganism as it's a non-action. The day you become vegan is the day you stop causing harm to others. But the day that you become a vegan activist, that's when you're actually starting to put something positive back into the world, and you're actually, affecting positive change for animals.
Yes. And the reaction of the bloke, I don't know if you've seen the footage, he grabs a loudhailer out of this woman's hand and smashes it on the floor, and it's quite, she doesn't let go of it easily, so it could have escalated. It's a tense, it's an unpleasant moment, but not, I suspect, to you, a surprising one.
Absolutely not. And it's, we have this reaction quite a lot as vegans, and we kind of learn to develop quite a thick
mad,
skin.
Isn't it?
But
it's such a strange thing for someone else to get angry about.
Exactly. And I think the thing, as I mentioned before, that really shows it into sharp relief, if you had that same video, but these were people campaigning against, the Yulin Dog Meat Festival in China.
You've beaten me to it. You've literally just taken my next question out of my mouth.
You're already there, James. You're a vegan. You just don't know it yet.
Well, I mean, unless you do the argument that I'm not saying this is me, but somebody who wanted to counter your point would say, well, I am as untroubled by the meat that is eaten in other parts of the world as I am here, because to be troubled by the dog festival you've referred to would be hypocritical if I'm happy to watch a kind of lamb apocalypse every Easter.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that would be at least more morally consistent. I would probably say it's still not, morally virtuous in any way. But yeah, and I think what the reality is that most people, definitely in the UK, would not have that opinion. We love our dogs, we love our pets so much. We take them in our homes, we treat them as members of our family, and yet there is no morally relevant difference between those animals that we love struggle. And the ones that we put into, gas chambers or slaughterhouses.
Yeah, but I would be, even if I believed it, I'd be frightened to say I've got no problem with the dog festivals because it would be like in this society at this time, it would be like painting a target on your back. And yet, of course, all that they are doing is treating dogs in the way that we treat cows and sheep. Is this? I must have stumbled across this before with callers, but I can't remember. Is this like the holy grail of hypocrisy for vegans?
What is it?
The attitude that so-called animal lovers take to some animals being eaten when compared to the attitude to all animals or other animals being eaten.
It is one line of kind of argument. It's you may have even heard the term speciesism and speciesist, and it's like kind of drawing those parallels between other forms of discrimination throughout the ages.
The more you talk about I think you've got almost all the cards in your hand. I really do. And the more we talk about it, and the more clear it becomes to me, or the harder it becomes for me to argue against the idea that the negativity comes from guilt, shame, self-knowledge, and of course that's slightly childish, but we all have it. Resentment of being told what to do, especially if the person telling you what to do, deep down that they're right to tell you. It's crazy, right? I almost wish I could put on my old head and approach this from the angle I used to approach it, from the traditional way for TV and radio hosts to approach the subject, is to be really angry about vegans without really knowing why. I wonder what tools would I reach for this morning? Why are you telling me what to do? Well, I actually can't get inside that mindset, even though I used to have it. And yet, as Tasha points out, I haven't got anywhere near, I don't think, the end of this particular journey, and yet I recognise an air of its inevitability.